Whereas we are seeing all the fallout with ICE and how they are, doing the mass deportations. We talked about, as the Latino community has been asking, FBAs, hey, where y'all at? And we have asked simple questions. Hey, why aren't you asking where are the Asians? And now the Asian community is starting to respond to some of this. Case in point, there's a young woman from the Asian community that's going to give her insight on why her community has not been responding, even though a lot of them are illegal immigrants too. They're in the same position as Latinos. Let's go ahead and check this out.
So I'm actually seeing the topic on why Asians don't speak up when it comes to a protest or speaking up for our rights. Because they honestly do not think they're a minority. A lot of Asians live under that whitewashed world. And that comes from me speaking from experience. As a Vietnamese woman with black kids, I've heard every racial slur there is. Why are you with a black man? Your kids are gonna be dark. Your kids are gonna be like charcoal. Majority of Asian people are Trump supporters. They don't speak up, they don't fight, they don't speak on the situation, they don't even like talking about the situation. And when they do, they sound stupid and ignorant. They don't like doing that because in their mind, they're white. Majority of Asians feel the whiter the skin, the better. And that's all I'm going to say on that. That's why they don't speak up. That's why they don't make a scene when it comes to fighting for our rights. Because they think this is not going to affect them. As if 12 Vietnamese nail techs just didn't get deported because they're illegal immigrants. So let's be clear on why this is happening and who it's happening to, because it's just not Mexicans, okay?
As you heard what this woman said here, that her community is basically whitewashed. They feel that they're not like the rest of them. See, white supremacy has had a horrible effect on the world. You're seeing that same practice in the Asian world. You see the same practice in the Latino world, this colorism. If you're the closest to white, you're better. And if you're dark, you're horrible. In the Asian world, who are the Asians that's really looked down upon? The Cambodians, you know how dark they are. The Filipinos, you know how dark they are. And even in their countries, if you're lighter skinned Filipino, oh man, you're great. If you're dark one, not good for you. They look down on the Thai people. They look down on a lot of them, but the whitest skinned ones like the Koreans and the Japanese and a lot of the Chinese. Oh, yeah. They have that issue all the way around. And like nobody else can see that. Y'all don't see the stupidity of that you're better because of the skin tone. Now, this woman says about the anti-black racism that's in her community. She said that basically she has 2 black children and they're telling her that her children will come out like charcoal. And if they did come out like charcoal, what's wrong with that? Nothing at all. So what the hell? And in the Asian world, it's even worse. You're talking about other groups mimicking us. Asians copy us way more. They're sitting up here getting hair, fades like mine and getting the texture of their hair like my texture of hair. That's what they're doing. They study our music. They study our dances. They're braiding their hair in the Asian world. I seen a sister on TikTok that was in Thailand, and the Thai lady braided her hair very good. You couldn't tell it wasn't janky or nothing. They're learning everything about our culture. But they don't want to be us. They don't like us. I think that is the weirdest thing ever. If I don't like somebody, I don't want nothing to do with them. That's how I feel about it. If I don't like you if I don't like your people, if I just don't like you, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want to do nothing with your culture. I don't want to hear nothing you got going on. I don't want to see you on no device I got, TV. I don't want to go see no movie with you if I don't like you. But these people are so weird. They don't like us, but looking at everything we're doing and want to copy it, and then we call a hand on it. Oh, well, it's American culture. It's not black culture. No, black culture is black culture. It's just that simple. This is why a lot of black Americans have said that they're cool on this immigration tip, because this woman is admitting in her community there's a lot of anti-black racism, and she says she's been called, and people been calling her kids all kind of racial slurs, her children in her community. Then you go to the Latino community, same thing. If they have black children, and even getting there, the Afro-Latinos are treated horribly in Latin America. We talking about black people who are born and raised in Latin America, speak the language. When they're speaking the language, I've seen the videos of the comments, them saying that they speak in Spanish. They're like, how you learn how to speak Spanish? Who taught you that? Like, you idiot. I was born in Panama. I was born in Honduras. What do you mean? Wow, I never seen black people. They feel that speaking Spanish is only for the lighter skinned ones, not for the black ones. Last time I checked, slavery was in Latin America, right? Last time I checked. But all these, if you notice, ladies and gentlemen, ever since we delineated, it's been beautiful, because it's been exposing all these other groups and how they really feel about black people. They are having to admit it now. See, a year ago, when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris was in office, these people was not on here admitting their anti-black racism. They were not admitting it. Fast forward to Trump. Trump ain't been in there not even 1 year. And Trump applied pressure to him. And they're looking for the FBAs. And the FBA's like, we ain't got nothing to do with it. Y'all on your own. And now they're having to explain why FBAs are saying it. They're having to admit, yeah, we ain't treat them right. Yeah, my family, yeah, they say a lot of horrible things about black people. I get it. There's Latinos now that's even telling it all and saying how wrong they were. And saying, oh, there's a lot of ignorance in my community. This stuff not right, X, Y, Z. That conversation would not have happened if we wouldn't delineate it. The agents are having to talk about it now, because they being forced to deal with why they aren't out there with the Latinos, because they have illegal immigrants too. And now they having to say, yeah, we don't get involved with nothing. Yeah, a lot of my community think they white. It's all this proximity to whiteness. Yeah, my community, man, they really don't like black people like that. A year ago, none of this was being said. Delineation and us stepping back is actually bringing positivity to America and the relations that black people have with all these other groups. These other groups say, well, what can we do to fix it? Well, the first thing you got to do to fix it is admit. And now you're admitting. The second thing you got to do to fix it is you got to support reparations, because there was a lot of you in the Latino community and Asian community that don't support reparations. You wouldn't even be in this country to even have an opinion. It wouldn't been for FBAs. That's why I'm like, how dare you even open your mouth to say anything negative about reparations? Especially how black folks spend a lot of money with the Latino community. Black folks spend a lot of money with the Asians, for sure. Definitely with the Asian community. How dare you say anything outside of, yeah, I support it? Because if black folks get reparations, guess who's going to benefit off of it? The Latino community and the Asian community. Because black folks going to be spending that money. But because of the anti-black racism, you're not even being forward thinking how you're going to benefit off of it if black folks get it. That's what I don't understand about you other groups. You're so ate up with anti-black racism that you can't even figure out how you would even benefit off of those reparations. You know what I'm saying? Because we talking about cash payments. We're not talking about no freaking scholarship, no housing vouchers. We're not talking about that crap. We talking about cash payments. And cash payments would benefit you too. It would even benefit white people if black folks got reparations. Y'all need to support reparations and pressure the Democrats to make sure reparations are done. And if reparations are done, then we can have a different conversation. Say, okay, well, shoot, man, Latinos can't support reparations. It was a majority of them. The Asians supported reparations. Okay, now we can get back to the table and have some conversation about what we can do on a reciprocal basis. What can we do? Because at this point, we didn't gave all y'all enough of our sacrifice. We protested. We stood up. We promoted minority coalitions, and y'all benefited off of it. We're y'all in debt. Yes, you are in debt. We can't come out there and protest or do nothing for you because you haven't even paid not even a payment on the debt you already owe FBAs. So I think it's kind of arrogant to say why y'all ain't out there. Like, what you mean? And then they keep bringing up George Floyd. It was a minority of you was out there with George Floyd. And we appreciate the minority of you that came out. We appreciate it. But to keep it real, do you judge a group off the minority or the majority? You judge people off the majority. If the majority was out there with George Floyd, this wouldn't be a conversation. And if the majority was out there with George Floyd, you would have support. Because one thing we do as black people, if you support us, we definitely support you. We say, hey, man, we got to support them. It's not right. But if you would actually listen to black folks, this wouldn't be a conversation either, at least on your end. No, I didn't support Kamala Harris because of the immigration policies. Her policies, no. No. I couldn't support no mass immigration. But they really thought that Donald Trump was going to not go after them. And it don't matter if you are Puerto Rican, Cuban, whatever. That's still y'all community. It's your community. Because now they copping pleas with delineation. Hey, us Mexicans, we voted 60% plus percent for Kamala. That was those freaking Cubans that ruined it. Everybody pointing at the Cubans. And I'm not saying they're lying about it. But the fact is they have an issue within their community that they gonna have to solve. We ain't got nothing to do with it. But delineation has been a beautiful thing. And we need to keep delineating. Keep this delineation up. Everybody's offended by it, but it's doing the best work ever. Things that we've been begging to be addressed for years. It's happening now with delineation. It's happening right now. And that's such a beautiful thing that's happening with delineation. We know these other groups didn't like us like that. We knew that. We knew these other groups only wanted to get the money out of our pocket and use us for whatever we wanted. You know, we knew that. But now they're having to admit it. And only because of delineation that happened.